Hello everybody, buongiorno and welcome back to my channel, back to English and back into the kitchen as you can see. And today we are gonna bake something super tasty that's typical for Germany, Austria, Switzerland a bit, and it's a beautiful apple strudel, or as they say, Apfelstrudel. So I would say let's start right away with the ingredients. For the dough we need flour and baking powder, sugar with vanilla and butter, an entire egg and an egg yolk that it's broken but it's one egg yolk, a pinch of salt, lemon zest. If you have a microplane it's perfect. And for the final touch, a teaspoon of rum. For the filling we need some apples with a peeler if you have it. Then we need some almonds. This is half a cup, and also half a cup of raisins. You don't have to put them into water and rum, but I like to soak them like this so they taste better. And in the end we also need some breadcrumbs and cinnamon. Okay, let's start with flour and baking powder, sugar and butter. And let's go. We can add the rum, voila, and the eggs. Our dough is almost done. Then I add the pinch of salt, like this, and the lemon zest. So just take the microplane like this and go all the way around. I'm doing like the half of this lemon, and the other half I'm gonna put it into the filling, into the apples. Yeah, just a little bit more, like this, and voila. I let it go some seconds. And our dough is done. Okay, so I'm going to work it like, I don't know, a rectangle or with a square form. Then I take some cellophane and I'm going to put it into the refrigerator in the meantime that I prepare the filling, because it needs to be cooler. It's too soft right now. I bring it away and we start with the filling. Okay, I want to show you a trick for the filling. So I take the zest away from the other half of my lemon. You will understand right away while I'm doing this. So all this beautiful, it smells so good. And I put it just aside, nothing happens. I'm going to cut my lemon and put the juice into my bowl with the water, because once we're cutting our apples, we're going to put them into the water with lemon, which is vitamin C, in order to have a beautiful color. So you will not have a strudel with the brown or gray apples, but with beautiful pieces, beautiful color. Okay, now let's take our apples and peel them. Now I proceed like this. I cut it in half. If you have this tool, so you're not wasting a lot of fruit, you just do like this, and the third part, voila. And then you cut it. Or if you don't have that tool, you do one more time like this and then cut the three parts. Then I like to cut my apple like this in pieces that are not too big or too small. So you have something like this. I'm gonna show you, but you can cut your apple as you wish. As you can see now, all the apples are ready, and you see they're not brown, they have a beautiful color, and we're going to put them out of our lemon water and we're gonna cook them a bit with the raisins. We're gonna put them out of this liquid too, because it will be easier to do the strudel in the end. But before we proceed, let's preheat the oven, 180 degrees Celsius, ventilated. It's only to preheat it, because then we are gonna bake the strudel without the air, otherwise it would burn. Our pot is pretty warm. Let's put the apples with our raisins. You can see they're now soft. I can also put the lemon zest. I'm gonna add some cinnamon, how much you want. I'm gonna pour some rum, and I'm gonna let it cook out, otherwise the alcohol would be a little bit too much or too intense, let's say. This is not something that everyone does. Like in Germany, I've seen chefs that are not doing this, let's step, or they use another procedure. But among all the procedures I tried, I think it's the best one. We just pre-cook the apples. We don't want to have a puree in the end. Just cook them a little bit. At this point, I'm gonna add the almonds too. Normally, classic, it would be pine nuts, but they're too expensive at the moment. And I don't know, like in other countries, but they're still expensive here in Germany. I replaced that with the almonds. I don't have a precise amount of sugar that you have to put in. It depends. If you have very sweet apples, you don't need extra sugar, but I'm gonna put a bit of my vanilla sugar in addition. So let's say, I don't know, 4-5 teaspoons. Let's do 5 teaspoons, come on. Whoop. So, as you can see, there is still a little bit of syrup inside, and we don't wanna have too much of that. So we are just gonna pour back the apples. They will cool down a bit before we can start with the strudel, and they will lose the extra juice that is not necessary. Okay, at this point I took my dough, and what I forgot to say, you need a tea towel, a clean one, of course, and I think it's okay, we can work with it. So take some flour and put it like this, so that it doesn't stick. Let's put our dough here, a little bit more flour, and let's do, I've always hated this part of doing apple strudel. You have to try to create a rectangle basically, because then we're gonna roll our strudel. Okay, just to make sure that your dough is not too long, just do like this and check. Okay, if it's more or less as long as your tray or a little bit longer, it's fine, because then we're going to close the corner, let's say. We can check that it comes down from our towel, and yes, it looks good. Now, very important, don't forget to use breadcrumbs, because they soak any juice from the apple, let's say. And then I like to put also a little bit of cinnamon. Just for safety, a little bit of sugar, not too much, but just put it around like this. Now, just to show you, because no one would think that so much juice would come out, but look. But you can use it if you want to do some vanilla sauce, for example, so you don't have to throw it away. Let's take our apples that are lukewarm. If they're too hot, it's not good. If they're cold, even better, but we are doing everything now, so lukewarm is also fine. If you see that you have too many apples, you can also freeze the filling and use it another time for another strudel. So could be an idea if you want to do the double amount basically and freeze it, then you have it for the next time. I think Okay, it is very important at this point to leave, let's say 3 fingers at the beginning and 3 fingers at the end, because we want to close it. We can put a bit more breadcrumbs on the top, you don't have to, as you wish. So, we're going to do something beautiful now, granny style. Take your towel and close it like this, and then pull it in your direction, and with that you have to be quick. Don't sleep during this movement, otherwise all the apples are flying away. So 1, 2, 3, and here we go. We're gonna close it like this, and also the other side. So we're going to do this. We take our strudel. Don't worry if it's not super beautiful here, we're gonna turn it around anyway. Like, move it and turn it around. Voila! One last step, let's do some holes. And let's put it into the oven for at least 35 minutes, but then we have to check, because every oven is different. Bye! At this point, I would plate our beautiful Apfelstrudel. Let's put some vanilla sauce. It's still a little bit too liquid, but it's not a big deal. And voila! As you can see, the color is beautiful, as we wanted it to be. If you remember the trick that we did with the lemon. And at this point, the best part, I think my glasses are super dirty. I hope you won't see it. Let's do the taste test. Whoop. If I'm able to do it without breaking everything. Matthias is looking at me. You can come and try.
No.
No? Okay. It's amazing. The dough is crispy, but like at the right point, not too much, and the apples are, yeah, just amazing. If you want, you can put also some whipped cream, or instead of vanilla sauce, using vanilla ice cream, whatever you wish or you like, let's say. Too good. Apfelstrudel is that kind of dessert that is always good. In summer, you can eat it cold. In winter, you can eat it warm. It's always perfect. So at this point, my entire day is over. You cannot see it, but outside is dark and I'm making dinner because you can see my broccoli mountain. I hope you enjoyed the video. If this is the case, as usual, thumbs up. And I hope to see you in the next video. Ciao!